What I'm going to do is, instead of saying any words, I want you to ruminate on the image I'm about to show you. Okay? This person has a lot of subscribers. We haven't actually done any trash from him before, I don't think. But I want you to ruminate on... I'm just going to point things out in the scene without making a judgment or value judgment on this. Okay? You ready? Okay. Sounds pretty bad? It's pretty bad. All right. I survived the plandemic. Okay? All right. Thin blue line flag. Made out of wood, mixed with was it a thin red line flag? I don't know what does anyone know what this is for? The 1776 colonial flag, by this individual. Okay, we have many different America flags. Here's it's a fire department. Okay, he has a fire department flag here. He has a police flag, or We the People, I think. He's got an American flag. He has 1776. Oh, look at that. Teddy Roosevelt. The pillow guy. Little pillow guy action for you. Cat in the Hat. Wow. Okay. And of course, the elephant in the room is this guy. He's a black guy that has all of these things, which screams to me, pick me, I'm one of the good ones, Republicans. Culture war, MLB boycotts Georgia over new voting laws. Okay, those flags are gun boxes, are they really? Wow. So interesting. Why are they trying to pull firefighters in this shit? I don't know.
Ramble was just a gorilla.
Do firefighters are firefighters lighting black people on fire inordinately the way police shoot them? Anthropocentric, thank you for following. There's a MAGA hat under the mic pillow picture. Oh yeah. So anyway, this guy is Anthony Brian Logan. And he's going to tell us about the culture war and why the MLB should not boycott Georgia over voting laws. They took the All-Star game away from Georgia. So here we go.
Today's video is brought to you by
someone we don't give a shit about. All right.
In my humble opinion, simply are not true. In 20, all these... Not take personal offense to that. I'll talk about today. We got to talk about Georgia's new voting law, SB 202, and the crazy reaction it's gotten. You got a bunch of regular lefty normies that are talking about,
this nerd should not be calling anyone a normie. What are you talking? Regular lefty normies. Stop it. What are you talking about, dude? You're a dweeb. You're a huge dweeb.
This disenfranchises black people, and I take personal offense to that. I'll talk about that a little bit later.
You take personal offense at being disenfranchised? You should. I'm assuming he's not talking about that.
They'll say this is the new Jim Crow. This is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You're operating on the big lie that the election was stolen from Donald Trump in 2020. All these different things that they're saying about this, in my humble opinion, simply are not true. Okay. However, you got a bunch of major companies like Coca-Cola and Delta that have slammed the state's decision to tighten up voting laws.
They're not tightening up voting laws. What are you talking? Wait. This is the guy who, in his debate with Destiny, said that his grandma told him that the KKK used to give his family Christmas presents, so racism in the 60s wasn't actually that bad. Was the present a brick through the window saying, get out of our neighborhood? Was that what it was? Those are Christmas presents. Yeah. So the voting laws for Georgia were just a response to it going blue in the general election with Trump, right? So they basically look, voting laws are not tightened by making it incredibly hard to vote, okay? If you are worried about voter fraud, which isn't really a thing unless right-wingers do it, you can take measures that don't include making access to voting hard. So they do stuff like how does limiting the number of polling places make fraud more likely, while also providing people a good place to vote, right? Like they don't like democracy because it doesn't go in their direction. This is why I always say to conservatives who are like, we can't let people vote because then they're going to vote Democrat. It's like, have you considered just doing something that's popular? Like, have you considered earning their vote? Instead of earning votes, they have this Southern strategy. They have the idea that they need certain stronghold states to hold any amount of power in the federal government. And so the way they do that is, of course, limiting the way that minority groups mostly, because they tend to historically vote more left-leaning than Republicans, they just make it hard for them to vote. So in Georgia, for instance, they made it fucking illegal for human beings to be given water by people that are at the voting place. Like, if you're standing in line in Georgia, which is in November, but also we do midterms and stuff, and there are summertime votes, and they made it illegal to hand water out to these people. For what reason? Is water a big vector for voter fraud? It's not. It's just bad faith, right? It's just you're just being shitty. It's not like actually doing a thing that like prevents voter fraud. Yeah, studies show that all voter fraud perpetrators are highly hydrated. And due to their hydration, they have decided that we're going to not do a democracy anymore. We're going to do a fake one. Which, by the way, almost every single instance of voter fraud in recent history has been from the right wing, and that's, I mean, just a fact. It's not really something we can like debate. It's just it is the truth. There are things that you could do if you're worried about voter fraud. Of course, you could make every single person they get assigned at birth a social security number, right? By the hospital, and then you got to put your paperwork in for your human being that you made, and they get a social security number. So if you have a social security number, just vote with your social security number, right? Just have your social security number and vote with it. That's fine. What's wrong with that? There's literally no reason to have an ID, right? Your social security number. Now, what if someone takes a bunch of social security numbers and votes on their behalf? Well, wouldn't you find that, first of all, that's hard to get information, but second of all, it would be obvious that there was voter fraud occurring, and then you could just trace that back and let the people vote already. I mean, it's just the way that works, right? If a bunch of people on election day go, wait a second, my voting thing says I've already voted, but I'm me. This is my thing. This is my date of birth. This is my name. This is where I grew up. You can verify your social security number. This is how they do it for licenses and stuff before you have them, or if they get, if you lose your license or something, you need other ways to verify your identification. Absolutely a thing you can do. Another thing that we could do that they'd never talk about, but we should do this 100%, is make voting a week-long thing. Make it 7 days from Sunday to Monday or whatever on the week around whatever the voting date is, and then just have the deadline be after that date. I mean, it would just like let people, you'd get more votes, you'd get a broader understanding of what society wants and desires as far as their laws are concerned. You wouldn't be punishing any poor people. It would also allow people that are rich to that have busy schedules to vote more easily. What is the argument against allowing voting to happen throughout a week? I don't know what the argument is. There's no argument you can tell me that would make me go, oh yeah, okay, it's reasonable to make it one single day, right? I also wouldn't mind if it was incentivized in some way, like maybe you get like $20 or something when you vote. I don't know. could be good. Could also like make sure that we have public transportation, make sure that we have more polling places. So that's how it's always been. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't really make any sense. Can't let the Dems win. I mean, if you don't want the Dems to win, you know what the Republicans should do? Be leftists. If you go further left than the Dems, you'll win a lot of power. You know what I mean? Fancy stickers, enough of incentive. It's actually a really good incentive. People love those voting stickers. Stickers have a psychological effect on human beings. I'm telling you. We love that shit. I still have my voting sticker on my steering wheel. Also make every state a mail-in voting state, of course.
Good call,
absolutely.
baby bird. Good
Yeah,
call.
it's efficient, easily accessible. Absolutely. Devious Chilster, thanks for the 22 months. As a poll worker, yes, people love those fucking stickers. They love them. Mine's on my laptop. Hell yeah. So I don't know. There's lots of things, but anyway.
And also, Major League Baseball has boycotted the state in a sense. The Braves are still there, obviously, but there was going to be an All-Star game in Atlanta at the Braves Stadium. They canceled that.
That's capitalism, baby. That's what happens, motherfucker. That's just what occurs, my friend. When you do bad things, guess what occurs? The market will respond. It turns out that these people have determined that Georgia is no longer a viable place to hold their event because of political things that they have done, making people disincentivized to go to the All-Star game, meaning that the MLB has decided that it is more lucrative for them to be on the side of being correct yet again. Wow. Holy cannoli. Maybe, and he's going to say something like, and this has been big talking point from the right. They say they support black people, but there's people that were going to work the All-Star game and businesses in Georgia, in Atlanta, that will suffer because that didn't bro, yeah, it will affect some of the people that work at those games, sure. But you know what it affects more? It puts pressure on Georgia to enfranchise these people for the right to vote. And if it takes economic stress on your state for being shitty, then fuck you. I don't care. Those people are it's not the MLB's fault. The money that they lost is not on the MLB. It is on Georgia and the state government. Like, what?
They've also canceled the Major League Baseball draft that was going to be in Atlanta. I've read that the cancellation has cost Atlanta like $100 million in potential revenue.
Good.
And if I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments below.
I don't care. I hope it's $200 million.
But I would think a city like Atlanta that got hit really hard by the virus and, you know, it's poverty kind of rampant out there. I think $100 million might help the city.
Well, I guess Georgia should have thought about that, shouldn't they? Maybe we should think about. I thought you guys were for you know, like owning personal responsibility. You know what I'm saying? You can't shrug this off onto someone else. It's like saying my fiance found out that I'm a secret racist and now she doesn't want to marry me. Huh, what a bitch. Like, what? It's your fault. What are you talking? It's your fault. You did the thing. You took the stick, put it in the spokes of your bike while you were going, and then you flipped over the handlebars. It's just how it works. Why? You don't get to be mad at the other people that exist that go, yeah, I don't want to be party to that. You don't get to be mad at them. What? Idiot.
It might
Thanks for following Serious
help
Brett.
the area. Now, before any big brain super genius says,
Well, I'm already a big brain super genius. Sorry, buddy. Not before. You're pretty late.
oh, ABL, the stadium's in Cobb County, not Atlanta. Look, we all know that Atlanta itself, the city is small. Atlanta really is the city proper and the surrounding area. So let's not play any games, but for now, I digress.
Did he just say that? Is he acknowledging suburbs? And that's like his big take? Okay.
Yes. This is a really ridiculous thing. Not
All
only
right.
because the voting law is actually a good law. I'll talk about that in a moment.
Also, Atlanta is nuts. Have any of you had to take one of the bypasses around Atlanta to continue south? Fucking trash on 75.
but it was also going to honor Hank Aaron because obviously he played for the Braves, and he died earlier this year.
And he's black. Oh, fuck.
After he got the vaccine, but that's a different story. They were going to honor Hank Aaron, and it was going to be a whole big thing.
Hank Karen, it said.
Now they don't know where they're going to have it.
Well, I guess they're not going to have it until after that. Or before it. Your traffic's the worst? Dude, Atlanta traffic sucks. Nobody there knows how to fucking merge. You take the fucking bypass around the city, might as well just go straight through the fucking city. They have no idea how to merge into traffic on a highway. Absolutely the worst. I've been stuck outside of Atlanta more than any other city, and I don't even live in Georgia. More than any other city. Nope. Detroit, not even close. Not even close. I've been through Detroit several times for multiple sporting events, and I have never been stuck the way I get stuck in Atlanta. Ever. And that goes for Atlanta's fucking international... The Detroit International Airport is way better than Atlanta International Airport as well. The Atlanta concourse itself is spread so fucking out. I literally got off a plane. I had 30 minutes to get to my next plane, along with my girlfriend at the time. And there was an old man that sat behind us that was getting on the same flight. That motherfucker did not make that flight because we literally had to go 2 miles of walking. The Atlanta International Airport's dog shit. Everything about Atlanta is shit except for the culture and food. I love the culture and food of Atlanta. I hate all of their infrastructure. It's absolutely dog shit. So terrible. You know what's really nice, though? Savannah, Georgia. What a beautiful place. It's such a pretty little town. Savannah, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia. Walking through Savannah, Georgia in the summertime is like having a nice scoop of molasses. Went to Paula Dean's restaurant there back in the day. Love my city, just has some drawbacks. I love your city for what makes it a city, right? Like the people. I fucking hate the infrastructure of Atlanta. I think Chicago is on par with Atlanta, but Atlanta's still worse. Savannah's delightful, though. Yeah. Like I said, the culture and food of Atlanta is fucking cool, and I really enjoyed it. But the city it was like scribbled by a child, and they're like, okay, let's do it. And they built that. Yikes. Chicago has a lot of problems, too, though.
Talking about, we're going to Milwaukee because that's where Hank Aaron started. It's like, are you dumb? Stop. Let's stop the madness. This whole thing is really ridiculous. Now,
it's not ridiculous. It's always ridiculous to Republicans when the market decides that they're not marketable. It's literally always the same song and dance from these fucking people. Oh no, if it isn't the result of my own actions, I don't like it. Shut up, dude.
now
Also, I'm going to speed him up. He talks a little slow for me.
the law is not that bad. Not in the least bit. And if
The law is not that bad. Let's see.
Her ramble was just.
Let's see. I thought I heard the beginnings of someone doing a cash donation through Streamlabs, but they didn't. 0 Degrees. Thanks for following. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Are they going to show the fucking things? Okay. So, Governor Brian Kemp signed the bill on March 31st. Certain provisions will go into effect on July 1st. Special ballot will be created for nonpartisan elections. I don't know what that looks like. Ballots must be printed in black and white ink on security paper. A cutoff date of 11 days before a primary, general election, or runoff election for mail-in ballot applications. Why would you restrict someone's ability to get a mail-in ballot? Why? A deadline. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Shit. Balls. A deadline for the issuance of absentee ballots 25 days before a federal primary, general election, or special election, or 22 days before a municipal general election or primary. Wait, but what if you don't know you're going to be an absentee until 24 days in? Or 20 days in? Like, what? That's 3 weeks, dude. 3 weeks. 3.5 weeks. What? A Georgia state driver's license, ID card number, date of birth, and the last 4 digits of social security number or another approved form of identification must be printed on the outside of an absentee ballot. What the fuck is this about? This right here is the worst part. Johnny Cal, thanks so much for getting 5 tier 1 subs to the channel. Gary Fink Sasquatch, a Zamboni, nice smelling wood, and Wilfern, thanks for following and having a good time, and thanks for getting subs, Johnny. Appreciate it. This is just like it's if you give people free ID cards, okay, sure, but you're not. They need to know their last 4 digits of the social security number. It's like, why not just that or just one of these things? Nope, got to have them all. For what? To vote? Do you know what I do when I walk in to vote? I show them my ID, and if I don't have my ID, they can look me up. That's all I have to do. And then they go, okay, what's your address? And I tell them my address. And then they go, okay, what's the last 4 digits of your social? Okay. And then they verified my identity. Because you can only vote where you live. It's not like I could go to Alaska and vote in their local elections. They wouldn't have me in their database. So stupid. Conditions for rejecting absentee ballots if certain requirements are not met, which are probably shit. What about early voting? The law expands in-person early voting for general elections. In-person early voting. 2 early voting periods are required on a Saturday for each county, with optional voting on Sunday from 9 to 5. Hours may be extended to 7 to 7, okay? In prior elections, early voting began on the 4th Monday before a primary or elections and ended the Friday before an election day. According to the state's official website for runoff elections, voting began as soon as possible for the election day. Some leaders of Georgia's black churches say the new schedule will affect voting after church services, also known as souls to the polls. The voting period for runoff elections was also shortened from 9 weeks to 4 weeks. Geez, okay. So is it expanding? It's 9 to 5 during work hours, yeah, of course. On a optional voting on Sunday, but not a guaranteed because people go after church to vote a lot. Refreshments for voters waiting in line. The law bans people aside from poll workers from soliciting votes or signatures from voters. The distribution of or display of campaign material is also restricted to 150 feet of the outer edge of a polling location or within 25 feet of a person waiting in line to vote. Offering money and gifts, including food or drink, to a voter is... Wait, what? What do you mean offering money and What do you mean money and gifts? Gifts? Who gives people gifts? What? In a rebuke of the proposal last Monday, Georgia Senate Minority Leader Gloria Butler, a Democrat, said Republican lawmakers want to make it a crime to bring grandma some water while she's waiting in line. Voters have waited hours in long lines at polling places in recent elections, especially in black neighborhoods. Poll officers are permitted to distribute materials encouraging voter participation as required by law. Officers may also make self-service water available. Self-service water? So you got to leave line to get water? Why not just give them fucking water if they want? No, this is the correct bill. It didn't say it banned voting on Sunday. Poll watchers. Poll watchers. Training provided by the political party, political body, or candidate designing the poll watcher is a prerequisite for qualifying for or being appointed a poll watcher. Those responsible for designated poll watchers must attest to their training under oath. New rules for ballot drop boxes. A board of registrars or absentee ballot clerk may supply one drop box for absentee by mail voters at the respective offices or inside advanced voting locations. Additional drop boxes are restricted to 1 per 100,000 active registered voters in a county Or this is terrible for a place with high population density. 1 per 100,000. That's nuts. Imagine 100,000 individuals in a space. You only have one place to drop a ballot. And the boxes are only accessible during advanced voting. That's so stupid. The number of drop boxes for Georgia's 4 most populous counties, Fulton, Cobb, DeKalb, and Gwinnett, will drop from 94 to 23. Why are we limiting the places people can vote? How is this making it more secure? In fact, I would argue the opposite. These 23 places will be doing the volume of roughly 94 other places that would otherwise be handling that respective volume. It would make more sense to have more places so that they have fewer votes so you can guarantee the accuracy at a higher rate, right? 23 for those 4 counties, not for all the state. Deadlines for tabulating absentee ballots. Election superintendents must report the returns of verified and accepted absentee ballots by 5 p.m. the day following an election day. In the event of a missed deadline, the state election board may convene to conduct an independent review. Prior elections, absentee ballots were accepted until 7 p.m. on an election day. The law allowed a week to finalize and certify the final vote count, according to the agency. So why don't... Okay, so I don't understand this either. You have to finish it by 5 p.m., and then it has to be the day after. Otherwise, we had a week to do this. Again, if your claim is to accuracy, if you're worried about the accuracy of voting, why are you giving people less time and fewer people to do the job? It's almost as if you don't give a shit about accuracy. You're just trying to dissuade left-leaning voters from going, because left-leaning voters will have a hard time with this because they happen to often be minority voters. Huh. What about mobile voting buses? The mobile voting program was launched in Fulton County, Georgia, where Atlanta is located, near the end of 2020, in part to service voters with disabilities, according to the county's official website. The buses were also alternatives to long lines at polling locations. The new law restricts buses and, quote, other readily movable facilities to emergency use only. County superintendents may provide portable polling facilities for a given precinct at their discretion. Your boy is about to go down to Georgia, and we're gonna go to communities that are underserved and fucking make polling places. I don't know how to make this happen. Let's fucking do it, dude. Let's fucking get a bunch of people to go to Georgia to vote this year, or to help them vote rather. New role for Georgia's Secretary of State. Prior to passing of a new law, the Secretary of State served as chair of the state election board. The role was demoted to an ex officio non-voting member of the board. The new chairperson will be elected by general. This doesn't matter. Does it? The move allows a Republican-controlled board. Oh, yes, it does. The move allows a Republican-controlled board to temporarily take over local election offices, according to NPR. Some critics also suggest the provision is an act of revenge against Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who would not abide by Trump's request to overturn the results of the presidential election, according to the New York Times. And of course, Metro Atlanta has bad rush hour traffic. Yeah, Atlanta sucks for traffic. Yeah. So that's the whole thing. How is that not suppression of voting? How in any way is it not suppression of voting? When you make actively voting harder to do, you are suppressing it. Like what? Okay. All right. Anyway, this should go to the Supreme Court and get overturned.
Major League Baseball has a problem with Georgia and what they did.
Yes.
Why not New York? I think the reason...
What do you mean, why not New York? Does it have more restrictive voting laws? Does it? If it does, is the All-Star game in New York? Is it? I don't think it is. And if New York has more strict voting laws, we should do less of that. And we should make voting easier for people.
they want to focus on Georgia is because they see Georgia as a swing state. Not so much in New York. They think New York's going to be blue regardless, so it don't even really matter. But Georgia, there's a little bit of an opening right there. And they want to keep the avenue open to cheat if they want to.
It's not cheating to count votes, you fool.
I'm not saying they are going to cheat. I'm not saying they did cheat. I'm not saying that election fraud, which did happen in the 2020 election, according to all major news outlets. I'm not saying...
Wait, what? What? That voting fraud happened at all, or that voting fraud happened and caused Trump to lose? Because how... Okay, hold on. How many instances of voter fraud in 2020? Oh, this is the Heritage site. Hold on. Can I find anywhere that isn't right wing? Okay. Let me see. Can I see anything reasonable, like lately? 1,100 instances of voter fraud that have been, like, proven. That's convictions. How many in Georgia? Oh, no. This was ever. I'm sorry. This was ever. Not in 2020. Just ever. Just ever. This is... This is the Heritage Foundation, which is trash, but I just wanted to see, like, okay, so let's go to their numbers. So first of all, this isn't going to overturn an election. That's for 40 years. 40 years. So let's go to Georgia. So I'll just show you. The last instance was 2018 in Georgia's 28th House District. Details. The 2018 election for Georgia's 28th House District was overturned twice by Senior Superior Court Judge David Sweet because of some out-of-district voters submitted ballots. Some voters moved out of the district between the first and second runoff elections, and there was at least one instance of duplicate voting. Though individuals were not prosecuted, this northeastern Georgia district faced 3 elections in the same year between the same Republican candidates. No Democrats ran. In the end, the incumbent lost the challenger. And then no Democrats were even involved, dude. Come on, dude. Come the fuck on, bro. Oh, my God. All right, get the fuck out of my face. This is so fucking stupid.
It was enough to change the outcome of the election. I would never say a thing like that because I believe in the science. I believe in the truth, right? That's what they say, right? But some people might want to keep that option open. Here's what I was offended at before we get to the details of the actual bill, because I do have that. And again, I'll link to it in the description box below. But this is what really kind of triggered me. This is a tweet from Mark Elias. I don't know who that is, really. He just happens to have a blue check beside his name.
I mean, it says it right there. He's a lawyer and a democracy docked guy. I don't know.
But you can see this tweet right here on your screen.
Okay.
It says, a new Georgia law will require voters to submit ID to vote by mail. I don't see what's wrong with that. You can have many different forms of ID. We'll talk about that in a minute. If they use a driver's license, they need to provide the number, the driver's license number. And there's a picture of a driver's license. But before we get to that, it says one of the 2 numbers below is correct. If they put the other, it will be rejected. Are you sure you would pick the right one? Here is the picture. Matter of fact, let me move it over a little bit so you can see exactly what's going on here. So, I mean, is it hard to tell which of these is right and which is wrong? Is it hard?
Is it? Huh. I mean, there are 2 numbers there. Which one is it? Is it the driver's license number? Is this one? Is this the one that's correct? I actually don't know. I don't have a Georgia license.
There's two numbers that are highlighted. One at the very bottom, one at the very top. The one at the very top, right beside it says DLNO period, and then just, random numbers. Maybe that's the right one. The very first one at the very top, DLNO. Driver's license number. Maybe that's what that means. Maybe this guy, Mark, thinks that black folks, because let's be clear, they want to say, oh, you're just franchising black folks. It's a black lady right there. Let's be clear. We know what they're saying. He's not going to say it directly, but that's what they say. That's what they really mean. They think that black folks are too dumb to figure out what this means.
Okay, do you know who I was concerned for immediately? First-time voters, not black folks. I thought of first-time voters, even if they were Republicans. Like, if you're a first-time voter, which one do you choose? And then literally anybody else that might second-guess themselves or not be able to read very well, someone with poor vision, just an old person that's never had to do this before. Like, you know what I mean? Like what? Never had to present identification when voted. I don't have to, but I do because it's a little bit faster. I don't have to fill out another card.
They want to use how they think about us to push a thing to have
Who's
the avenue
they
open to
that
cheat.
thinks about you? What? Left-leaning people have an opinion on all black people in general? What is this like? It's always like people on the right have brainwashed other right-leaning members, specifically the black individuals or other minority groups, I guess, but specifically in this case, the black Republican pundits, right? To believe that if we acknowledge that you're black and we acknowledge that due to being black, you experience things differently than I do, that's the racism part. Not that the second part of that, which is after you acknowledge that you experience different things in life due to being black, a leftist says, and with that information, I would like to have a country that we live in that doesn't exacerbate the negative aspects of that lived experience, right? That's pretty much the whole thesis, right? It's just don't exacerbate the negative and eliminate. Don't exacerbate / eliminate the negative experiences someone experiences due to their skin color or whatever other innate. You could apply that to transphobia, homophobia, any other sort of racism. You could apply that to literally any sort of prejudice, right? Any sort of bigotry. A right-leaning person doesn't go to that second step. They just go, look, they're acknowledging a difference. It's like, does this guy look like me? No, I'm fucking Mayo white. Okay? He is going to have a different lived experience than me. It's just how it is. Because racists. Right? Being anti-racist might be a good thing if you don't want to live a life that continues to experience this kind of stuff. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me to be against just trying desperately to get human people to experience a modicum of equity within their day-to-day. You know what I mean?
That's just really what's going on. That's long and short. I'm offended by that. This is clearly, obviously, easy to tell what's happening here. It's not a difficult thing to do, okay? And like I said, there's many other forms of ID that are acceptable in Georgia.
No, it was in conjunction with the driver's license, not many other forms. You had to back it up with other forms of ID.
To go ahead and vote absentee. Okay, you go to third world countries, Nigeria, parts.
Those are not the bar. Why do they always do this? If you were in Nigeria or communist China, you would have a hard time. We're not there, bitch. We're in America. You said we were supposed to be amazing. Why is our bar a place you think is shit? By the way, Nigeria is not actually that shitty. I don't know why we use that example all the time, but we as Americans, it's not really that. I mean, there's things we would not be comfortable with because of our standard of living, but I mean, like, it's a fine country.
If India or whatever, problems. You got to have ID to vote there as well.
Yeah, it's kind of
okay. They're outside in the extreme heat near a desert. It doesn't matter, but they got their ID on them.
They can't look, but that's not our bar, dude. That's not our bar. Ah! Yeah, Kenya is also on the come up. They're going through their industrial revolution right now, pretty much. Them and India are going through the back end, like the 1900s-esque stuff where you start industrializing. But like, what if they don't have an ID? This is not our bar.
So if the majority of your country lives on $2 a day in Nigeria and they have ID, why?
Okay, Jesus Christ. I just typed in how do you get a Nigerian ID, okay? I have no idea what the answer is going to be. I don't know anything about this. Oh, they have like a little card in here too. That's neat. Nigerian National ID Program, an ambitious initiative. The new Nigerian National ID card was launched in 2014. Nigeria is often referred to as the giant of Africa, owing to its population over 260, blah, blah, blah. UNICEF predicts, blah, blah. With new EID program, the country is also signaling broad, blah, blah, blah. Secure documentation, national identity card, travel documents, electronic ID, biometric EID, payment card. Oh, you can pay with it? That's actually fucking lit as fuck. This is super cool. It's also an ATM card. So they registered... And they just straight up issued them. They just issued them? 37 million Nigerians were registered as of October 2019. Over 30 million ID cards have been issued and new enrollments. Managed by the National Identity Management Commission, the enrollment issuance of the National Identification Card and ID cards are free of charge. Whoa! It's a free ID that they supply to their citizens. Holy shit. That's a socialism. Wow. How did I know that as soon as I saw a bunch of people having IDs in a place where they make $2 a day, that it might just be a government initiative where they give out IDs freely to in this case, Nigerian citizens. Imagine having an American citizen given a free ID card. Holy fucking shit. Wow. Nigeria doing the socialism, doing the leftist. What a bunch of SJW cucks Nigeria is. Wow. This is literally what leftists are talking about. Hey, why don't you just issue free ID cards for everybody then? Do you want to take on the Nigerian system of identification? It's pretty slick. They also have they can also tie their bank account to it and use it to pay for shit. That's fucking lit as fuck, dude. That's awesome. Like, what? It's so cool. Oh, I found the corn guy, solid takes, and the Dylan Burns things. Of course. I got ripped the fuck off, smooth man. Ripped the fuck off.
Why can't Americans do it? It's because people want to cheat.
No, motherfucker. Because you vote against literally the system. The average Nigerian worker makes about $5 an hour. Well, there you go. Fuck his $2 a day shit. I figured that was probably the truth, but you know.
That's the bottom line. Let's get to what this bill actually is about.
We already did this. Do we need to talk about this guy anymore? I think we're really done. He's going to go through the laws now. We literally just read that before him. Look, the entire thing is quite honestly stupid as fuck. It's so easy, okay? If you are actually an individual that thinks that American people would more likely vote for a Republican than they would vote for a Democrat, do these, 1 plus 2 with several rules underneath it. Okay, the number one thing you could do, okay, get rid of the Electoral College. Just do a popular vote. If you have more popular ideas, you will win. That's literally all it takes. That's it. Be more popular. Strict popular vote, okay? And then have them have to win, kind of like you ever play pickup basketball with your friends, and it's like first to 11, win by 2, okay? You got to win by 2. So maybe you got to win by 2 million votes. 3 million votes, 4 million, I don't know. Maybe you got to win by a little bit. And if you don't win by enough, you know, maybe we can have like a secondary situation where maybe then you refer to the Electoral College. I disagree with that. Maybe we should probably just straight up go with the popular vote and just win by one vote. You win. I don't know, but there could be something. But if you want some protection over that, just say you got to win by a little bit. All you got to do is be more popular then. That's it. All you got to do. Ranked choice is obviously part of that, yes. Ranked choice voting being like, okay, well, I like Bernie Sanders. I don't like Joe Biden, but he's better than Donald Trump, so I'll vote for these two, and then Donald Trump's not even going to make my list. I'm not going to give him any points. And then just based on how many, maybe you have 5 choices of the candidates, and the person you vote for first gets 5 points, the person you vote for last gets 1 point, and so on and so forth, and whoever has the most points at the end wins the fucking thing. That's all it takes. Popular ranked choice voting. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, expand voting rights to all Americans, okay? All you need to do is if they have a social security number, you allow them to have that. Once you are a naturalized citizen, you are also given a social security number. That's all you need to vote. Put your social security number in and vote away. Vote away. And it should take a week. Okay, minimum a week. We could do a month if you want. Make it a national holiday. So make it a bank holiday. Make sure people have days off of school. Make sure people aren't going to work necessarily. And then anyone that has to work on election day, make sure they're getting fucking federal holiday pay. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that they have access to absentee and out-of-person voting. Digital voting in some way to be very secure is probably a thing we could do. If I can do a DocuSign for my house from my phone, I'm pretty sure we can handle a fucking vote. What do you say? I just got my stimulus. Also, the feds took out $2,500 for taxes. Well, since you got your stimmy, that's we're looking forward to your tier 3 here. If I can file for unemployment with my online with my social security number, why can I not vote? Exactly. That's all it would take. And then also, I do agree we should give out federally free IDs to everybody. And I really like the idea of them having a chip in there that allows you to pay for stuff if you have a bank account associated with it. That's fucking cool. Voting should be as physical as possible? No, you're wrong. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah. You're just wrong. That's okay. Voting doesn't have to be physical. There's no sign of voter fraud. Cybersecurity issues. No. Not a big deal. Yeah. You can vote by mail. Easy. We could easily do again. We could do voting through individual DocuSign, shit like that. Easy peasy. But also, you don't have to show up there specifically to do that. That's a really silly dumb. There are a lot of people that just do not have the ability to do so. Yeah. Voting should be as convenient as possible. That's 100% true. Yep. That's easy. Easy clap.